Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Erica here at the Little Blue House Farm in Mexico. Right now we are in Cuamio. We are going to feed our baby chicks. Yes, please. ¿Ya crecieron, no?
Yeah.
They got a little bit bigger. We came to feed the baby chicks in Cuamio, like I was saying, and I got the truck open, or the trailer. I need to see if I can find Otis, my sourdough starter that I bought from Whispering Willow Farms, but there's too much stuff in there. I took down a lot and I couldn't find it, so I'm just gonna make my own starter. But we are gonna be heading to the store right now. I do need a couple of things, not much, because as you guys know, Saudi's on her special diet still, so we are not feeding her a lot of things, so I'm not really buying it for at home either. So we do have to stop at the store. Then later on we are waiting for a text message or a call from the architect, and we will be going to the property to meet with him and also feed our Miss Ma'am, since we're gonna be up there anyways. I'm gonna go to the store and get something to cook, so I'll bring you guys along. I did give Saori huevitos right now because that's what she wants to eat lately, so she just said huevitos with the green tortillas. That's what she had for breakfast. I had some bolillo that I bought and some coffee. But we'll bring you guys along whatever we do here in Guanajuato, Mexico. We hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. If you do, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Also share our channel with your friends so we can continue to grow. And of course, welcome to all of our new subscribers and our old subscribers. Welcome back. Come along with us and enjoy our day here in Guanajuato, Mexico. Jose's in there with the baby chicks right now. I'll show you guys some of this corn. I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks back it was so little, and it's already growing corn. And I think that right there is wheat, but I'm not sure 100%. But these stalks are huge. We're gonna be heading out soon so we can go to the store and get our stuff done before the architect calls us. Also, I forgot to tell you guys that we got our stove back today, so I am gonna be baking some bread because Saudi really wants bread, and she could eat the one that I make without sugar, of course. But we are gonna be baking today. This is what we're getting so far. I'll give you guys a price at home because there's too much music here. They bought us a torta for 35 pesos. Vacas in our neighborhood. They're visiting. Red apples, green apples, chicken quarters, $33.85. Chicken legs for $62.51. Tomatillos, shampoo for Saori, shampoo for me and Cassie. Watermelon, a deodorant. 2 pineapples and a big thing of shampoo. We paid 966 pesos. Well, friends, we got some bad news. We're not gonna be meeting the engineer, or not the engineer, but the architect today until tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage, and since we haven't gone to the property yet, I'm gonna start my loaf of bread. I'm gonna do some French bread because it doesn't take oil and it doesn't take any milk, sour cream, or none of that stuff that Saudi can't have. This is only gonna take 1 egg, 1.5 tablespoons of instant yeast, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and 4.5 to 5 cups of flour, and 2 cups of warm water. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that, but I wanted to bring you guys along with me for that. I'm also gonna start a starter for sourdough since I couldn't find oats. I do have oats that I bought back in the States, like I said earlier, from Whispering Willow Farms, but I couldn't find it. It's somewhere in the truck, in the trailer that we still have all the stuff in. So I'm just gonna start my own. So I'll bring you guys along, and we have to mix the dough first, and then we're gonna let it rest for an hour. So I added the 2 cups of warm water, and I'm gonna add the yeast and the salt and let it sit for a little bit, and then we will start adding the flour. And so I'm just gonna let it sit to see if it's still alive. And I do keep my yeast in the freezer just so it doesn't die and it's active. All right, I'm trying to see if it's still alive. I don't see much movement in here, but I'm sure it is. Yeah, okay, it's going. It's starting to get foamy. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my, let me see. Let me move you guys a little bit. I don't wanna move the phone, I'll just move this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding, for my sourdough starter, I have 1 cup of warm water. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of flour in there. This takes about 7 days to be active. Well, it should be active earlier, but 7 days is when you can start baking with it. And sorry if you guys hear the kids, they're upstairs playing around, so. And the egg wash is gonna be for the top of the bread. So the egg does not go inside of the actual bread. Ooh. You could use any flour for your starter, but they do recommend to use 100% wheat or rye. So we're gonna mix really good. I can hardly get my spoon in there, or my spatula inside the vessel. And we're gonna put the lid on it, and we won't let it, we won't close it, because once it starts getting active, it is gonna go over, more than likely. So I don't want it to do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and put the lid on it. And this is day 1, like I said. So we gotta feed it every 24 hours. I will put my timer so I can feed it tomorrow. But it's pretty good mix. I'm just gonna leave it. Maybe I should have got a wide mouth, because this one's a little bit harder to work with. I'll switch it over in a few days once it starts getting active also. All right, and this is just how it looks. Just water and flour. It's not active. Once it starts getting active, we will see a lot of little bubbles on the side, but for right now, we don't see anything. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the flour in here. And this is 5 cups. So I'm gonna go ahead and, or 6 cups. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, not all of it. We're just gonna add that and see. And like I said, I'll write the recipe down for you guys at the end, the description, so you guys can see. So now we're just gonna go ahead and start it slowly. And then we're gonna knead for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna add some lard. Well, not add, but put on the outside of the bread. You usually wanna spray it or put it in a container greased, but I don't have olive oil, I don't think, so I'll just use lard. Maybe I do. I think I found one actually. Let you guys watch this for a minute and I will be right back. Let me go check and see. Well, I thought I did, but I don't see it. It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to medium speed. As you guys can see, it still looks too wet, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more flour to it. All right, as you can see, now that the dough's almost done, it is picking it up from the whole container. I did add more flour slowly, but it's just about done. So now what I'm gonna do is grease it up a little bit on the outside so it doesn't dry up, because we are gonna let it sit for an hour. I'm gonna let it go for a few more seconds. And all we added here was water, salt, the yeast, and the flour. And it's gonna make 2 loaves of French bread. And I always make a mess. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just grab a little bit of lard. And since my hands are hot, I'm gonna go ahead and put it around the whole ball of flour, just so it doesn't dry up. And we're gonna let it sit. I'm gonna cover it and let it sit for 1 hour, or until it doubles its size. I'm not sure how hot it's gonna be in here because I am boiling beans, and I'm also gonna start cooking right now. So I'm just gonna let it sit here, and then we will be back. All right, I'm gonna start doing my dinner. I was cleaning up a little bit. I'm baking and doing other stuff. But I did buy these chicken legs earlier. So if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I cut all of my chicken when I buy it, just like this. And I make it like this just so that I make sure that it gets cooked all the way through. And we're gonna make pollo entomatado. And I'm boiling beans, like I said. And I'm also probably gonna make some rice to go with it. So just make a few cuts. Ooh, my knife is so sharp I can feel the bone. I don't want to feel that. I rinsed them out. These are the ones that I bought. They have a lot of skin right here on the back part. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add salt to these. And that's it, because like I said, I'm gonna make it entomatado that I do want to make. But first I do fry my chicken. You don't have to, but it gives it a better flavor when you fry it. But like I said, if it's easier for you, don't fry it. I like mine fried because it's still gonna cook through, because you're gonna put the tomatillos, the green shell tomatillos, in here raw, so they are gonna cook in here. I'm also gonna add a little bit of cilantro and some serrano peppers. Making sure I cut all of them. All right, let's go to the stove, and I already have my oil warming up. So I didn't touch my chicken with this hand. Only with this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix. Like I said, just salt. And not too much either, because I will also add some to the other stuff once I start prepping it. But for right now, I'm just gonna take it to get it fried. All right, as you guys can see, my oil is hot. It's lard. I'm gonna roll my around a little bit just so it can sit a little bit better. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and cover them so they can cook evenly, and then I'll uncover them so they can start frying also. You guys can see I also have my beans here. I'm gonna make some sopa de arroz now. If you guys only knew how much I missed my stove. The other day I cooked some chicken on the little stove that was here from before. It took me like 3-4 hours to cook the chicken. But this one right here doesn't take long. Let me get the rice real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add about a tablespoon of lard, or a little bit more. And I'm going to do 2 cups of rice. These are half a cup, that's why I'm putting 4. So I will add 4 cups of water. I'm gonna add to my blender some tomatoes, some onion, some chicken bouillon, and some salt. We will be making sopa de arroz. So we're gonna brown this a little bit, and then we will add the stuff that we are gonna put in the blender. All right, so here is a tomato. As you guys can see, the rice is getting brown already. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and add the mixture. I'm gonna have a lot of dishes to wash again with all this cooking, but it's okay. We're gonna eat good food today. Gonna make sure it's all mixed in. Let it come to a boil, and then we'll put the fire down. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the fire down on my beans because they started boiling, so they can cook evenly. Cover them up, not all the way because they'll start spilling on me. They usually do anyways, but I try to stop it first. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn my chicken or flip it or whatever you wanna call it, friends. Woo! The lard with the water is no joke. That's why I got this lid right in front of me. All right, I think I got them all. All right, since my beans, look, my rice is already boiling. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it all the way down, cover it up, and let it cook. I'm doing dishes while I'm doing this because I have a sink full of dishes again. All right, so while the chicken finishes, I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping the rest of the stuff that I have for it. So I have just a bunch of tomatillos, some cilantro, one jalapeno pepper, and one onion. So I'm gonna start prepping everything. So the onion, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it in half. Or just like that. The tomatillos, everything's been washed. I cut them in four, just like this. Not all the way through. You just want them like this. You're gonna cut all of them. And if you cut down further, it's fine. Or you could also cut them in four if you like. I like my tomatillo a lot, so I like to bring a lot of it on my plate when I serve myself. That's why I just do them in four like this. I should have left them separate. So I would have known which ones I was doing and which ones I wasn't doing, but I didn't. It's all right. Just have to check each one. Should be done soon. Like I said, everything has been washed, including my cilantro, so I'm not worried about everything touching each other. And my chili, I mostly want it for flavor, so I'm not gonna cut the tail off. I'm just gonna do like this and cut it in half. I'm gonna put the whole thing in there too. Nice. Let me see, do I have any more left in here? Couple more. Alright, I think I'm done. If I find another one, I'll just cut it when I'm adding them to my pot. But I think I'm pretty much done with them. I found one more. Alright, now we're gonna go to the stove and add them to my chicken. Alright, so it looks like the chicken is mostly fried. And it doesn't have too much oil in there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it. So now what I'm gonna do, save my cilantro to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and add my onion. If you have more than this chicken, I don't have that much because it's not, I don't wanna have a lot of leftovers. My family doesn't really care too much for leftovers. So, and this food, I know Jose doesn't really care for it either, but he'll eat it, but only once. But if you have more chicken, you want to do a layer of tomatillos, and then a layer of chicken, a layer of tomatillos. So just mixing them around so that it get all combined, but I'm just gonna leave them like this. I'm gonna put my cilantro on top. I am going to add some more salt. A little bit of black pepper. And this is, if you like it, I like my black pepper a lot. And a little bit of garlic. So you guys know I like garlic a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover it up. Bring the fire down a little bit and let it cook. And I will bring you guys at the end. My rice is still cooking and my beans are cooking as well, so I'll bring you guys once I'm done so you guys can see the finished product. All right, so I am ready to make my loaf of French bread. So what I'm gonna do is make this into a ball and cut it in half. You can weigh it if you want. I don't do all that. I don't have time for that. I'll put this half there. I'm gonna go ahead and work with this one. I'm gonna make it into a square. Not a square, a rectangle. Woo! I should add a little bit of flour on here, but it's okay. You guys know how I roll. Everything works. Should have done. I don't like doing it on the table. I'd rather use this plastic.
Let me on.
And I'm gonna make it this way so it's a little bit longer, so it's not so small. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Let me put this over here. I got my parchment paper already here. I'm gonna start rolling. Yeah, I should have probably got a little bit of flour, but it's still gonna work. You guys can see it's still working. I wanna buy those compartments where you could put the French bread because it makes them really nice on there, but I don't have it yet. Maybe soon, maybe not, I don't know. I want the ends to stick. I would have a little bit of flour here, I would, maybe I can still. So there's one. Hopefully I make both of them the same size. Probably not, but I'll try. I will try. Yeah, flatten them out. You think I would learn from the first one and get flour and use it, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna go ahead and make it exactly the same as the other one. So just so you guys see, perfection's not needed for bread making. This is good enough. I'm gonna do it the other way because that side is thinner. Oh, he's calling me. She's upstairs. It's storming so hard again. You pinch the sides. I gotta make homemade tortillas too because we don't have any tortillas. I didn't buy any. Guess my stove is taking advantage of everything. I'm making sourdough bread. No, this is not for plain, mommy. It's already made into a loaf of bread. Look. Now we're just gonna let them sit for at least 30 minutes. Maybe while we eat, and then I'll go ahead and throw them in the we gotta use that egg wash, but not yet, mommy. Leave it right here.
But can I?
I'll show you when we're ready for it, okay? But right now we just gotta cover it and let it sit for around 30 minutes. We do have to make some cuts so when it does cook. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. That way I don't have to touch it and explode it again.
Is it gonna explode?
Because it usually does explode when we touch it because it's risen. So we're just gonna cut it. I have it ready. So I'll put the egg wash on top also. Now, instead of waiting. So that's what the egg was for. I told you guys the ingredients. Woo! I don't have a pastry spatula. I'm just gonna do it like this. Hopefully I can. I'll just clean it up with the paper towel. It's okay. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, friends. As long as it's bread, Saori can eat it for her diet that she's on. We're just gonna let it sit for 30 minutes now. And I'm gonna go ahead and start making tortillas because that I do have to make. Close this side here. Don't touch it, mommy. You have dirty hands. All right, we'll be back. We will be back. Saori's cooking too. Look at her. She's baking and making tortillas, right, mommy?
But I won't give it to you.
Okay, so I am making homemade tortillas also. I got rice. I got the pollo that I didn't show you guys how it looked. And here it is. It smells delicioso, and the beans are not done yet. But I am making tortillas so we can have with our dinner. And I already have the bread and the second rice. So I'm gonna be turning my oven on in a minute so I can start preheating. And it's gonna be great because it was pouring and it's a little bit chilly. So we're gonna have some pan with some cafe after it's done and sits for a little bit. So there it goes, friends. I finished making my tortillas and then we'll eat.
It looks like a man, right?
She said, come and look at my tortilla, friends.
Look. You like it? I made it like a man.
I preheated the oven to 375 and I put the bread in there and it grew like double the size that it was. Let me show you guys. I just put them in there. Now I'm gonna cook them for 35 to 45 minutes or until golden brown. Well, friends, we were having major difficulties with the stove. Not sure what was going on, but it didn't want to work correctly when I was pressing the buttons, but Jose finally made it work and we got our bread done. It's super hot. Here's our pan, finally finished. Thanks for coming along with us and being part of our channel, our family on YouTube. Also, I know some people have been asking about the hype button that's on our videos. Please, if you can, hit the hype button because that lets not just the algorithm tell people that the videos are good, but also that you guys like it, and it pushes it out more so people can see it. Please, if you guys can, hit that hype button and it would be much appreciated. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for being part of our YouTube family. God bless and see you guys soon, friends. Bye.